Hello, hello. Should be alive again. I don't stream like at all anymore, so feels weird every time, but I know a lot of people watch my streams post them being live, so may as well actually intro this right away instead of waiting for people to come in. So yeah, let's just launch up the game. I'm just gonna be doing some infrastructure decorating, really. I mean, that's simple as that. It's stuff I need to be done, so why not stream it? I was gonna edit a video today, but ain't even gonna capture properly. It should. There you go. Took it a minute. Let's just continue because it's saved already, so that's good. Did not forget to save last time because it's not an autosave that is continuing. That's always fun to see. Don't know how long I'm gonna stream. I don't really stream that long anymore, and I'm probably not gonna stream that long today because I plan on editing a video after this, so we'll see. I'll probably just go until I'm bored. That's how I play games. I just go until I'm bored, so that's how I'm gonna stream. The thing is, I alternate between games a lot nowadays, so I can't really stream long periods of time because I don't game for long periods of time. Like, Satisfactory is the only exception to that, but nowadays with Satisfactory, whenever I'm doing long projects, like 8, 10, 12 hours straight kind of projects, I just watch YouTube next to it because I have 4 monitors and I don't need to deprive myself of entertainment to do these long projects anymore. So why would I? But since I don't play games for long periods of like long sprints anymore as much, it's hard to stream games for long sprints, But I still do kind of enjoy streaming. I just don't do it much, and because I don't do it much, I don't really feel like getting into it again. I think if I didn't upload as much, I would probably stream more. Like, I did contemplate going over to Twitch instead and just, like, streaming less quality stuff that I don't really care to stay up forever. Because obviously Twitch streams just get deleted after, so, like, after a month, I think, or something. But I don't know, I think that's probably going to be a future thing. I might stream on Twitch eventually. I have streamed on Twitch before, and then I multi-streamed on it a bit. But I kept getting just people trying to scam me in chat, and I got annoyed of it, so I just gave up. I'd rather stream to 0 people than entertain a stupid scammer, so you know what? It is what it is. Now, I can't fix all of this area, but I'm going to at least improve it a bit. This belt in the center is a problem, but it's a problem for this entire railroad line. So, I think that's going to be a project to move it another time, because it's probably going to have to go underneath. So, that's an issue for later, I suppose. Right, this has support. I need to add supports to all of these. But these are not the same as the ones in the desert, which means how long are they? I think they're probably 1 extension, so 10. Stop screwing them up. Yeah, okay. That's 10 from the top. Oh, and they have a support in the middle. Right. The ones in the desert, I did not do that, but yeah, I should do that, actually. Okay. That is a good idea, but it takes a lot more time. I haven't made a blueprint for those, which honestly I should, but it's just annoying to like use blueprints that are very tall. Another thing is this. How do I want to do this? Can I angle this effectively? Maybe. I could try something like this, I suppose. Right, but then it would be annoying, so you know what? I'm gonna do it How do I want to do this? I wonder if I can get away going straight for... Okay, that's an issue to be fair, but like... I wasn't considering that. Obviously the trains don't stop anymore. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That will, however, so good enough. I hope this train did not lose its configuration. Okay, no, we're good. I have no idea what any train does anymore. So, if any of these trains lose whatever respective stations they belong to, I have no way of knowing where they need to go. Most of them, anyway. Some of them I could probably tell because of what they're carrying, but most of the trains I don't have, like, written down anywhere what they are or what they do. And with the amount of trains I have, it's not really possible to remember what they all do. But all I know is there's a lot of them, and at some point I want to do... I mean, I might do it this weekend, but I should probably wait until I finish the world. At some point I want to do just an uncut drive in a train. Like, just set it to go to every single station in the world if I can. Like, in a single, like, autopilot trip. And then just do an edited recording of just me in a train going to every single station to showcase the railways in the world. Why do they make this so long? Why is this wider for no reason? I literally don't remember. Oh, right, for this belt, because it was technically, like, off the track before, but I had to add a bypass, so it's no longer off the track and clips, which is why I said I need to move it at some point. Well then I guess it's not going to be a problem. I'm just not going to fence it. I don't feel like putting railings all the way along that just for a belt, so I'll do the railings for the segment that actually has train. Not that these, like, railings would actually stop the trains in any way. I want to remove this one, but, oh wait, there's multiple already here. Yeah, this is some mess. At least the only thing after I do this that's going to be left is the belt, which can be moved fairly easily. It's just I don't know how I want to move it, so I'm just not going to do it yet. You know, I don't know what I want to do with it, so I'm just going to leave it. This could use some supports, but for now that's not an issue. This needs to be redone to an extent. And I do want to know, can I get rid of this? Ooh, I can. Kind of. It's actually not terrible. This belt could be moved. Wait, no, this belt can't be moved. Right? I'm pretty sure that's why I left it here, because it's in an inconvenient spot and I can't really move it. Because it goes, like, back here somewhere, right? Well, it used to go along the ground, but it blocked the train, so I think, yeah, it's this. We need to go completely under the base, so it's movable, but I'm not gonna worry about it for now. I'm just gonna keep doing whatever I actually know what to do with for now. Which is this area, which is basically already done. But I do want to add some supports. So, how do I want to do this? I guess first off, we need to paint everything. Has to be painted. I guess something that would be nice is the ability to have pre-painted stuff. I mean, obviously there's the like factory defaults, but like the same way you can select if you want to like pre-place specific foundation. I think it would be cool if you could also pre-select a color, like a custom swatch to pre-apply. But I guess that's just kind of a nitpick, so it's more of a eh. There's so much train traffic. You don't realize how much train traffic is in your world until you have a central point that they... Well, not even all of them anymore. Actually, most of them don't. Like, most of the trains in my world don't come here anymore. Most of them used to go in the base, but now most of them are along here, and along here, and along here, and one's below in this orientation, which hasn't been released yet, because that's the video I need to edit after this. So I can't really... Well, it doesn't really matter if I leak it, but I mean, like... I'm gonna try and avoid it, you know, at least put some effort into not spoiling videos. But I mean, unless I delay it more, it should come out next Saturday, so it's not a huge deal. If I do leak it for whatever reason. I mean, it's not a particularly eventful episode either, because it's just another episode where I'm collecting Sam for way too long. Right, I can do it like this. That's much easier. The autosaves are starting to lag again, which... Honestly, I wasn't expecting to get to this point where they would start lagging again, considering how optimized they got, but you know. Anything's possible if you try hard enough. It's so annoying. These foundations are just like barely jumpable, so if I don't crouch, sometimes I get stuck. I thought I had the radio going. There you go. Get something other than just random trains passing by as sound here. It might be loud, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's not that loud for me, so I'm just gonna assume it's good enough. Yeah, this'll work, I suppose. There you go. I don't need anything fancy at the end of the day. This should just do. It's nothing special, but it gets the job done, so that's good enough with me. Get this in there. Now, this stretches out... Okay, well, that's annoying. This rail is not very lined up. Right, this is also more of the line that needed belting. You know, I'm just gonna work towards the opposite direction instead. Because this direction needs a lot of work that I don't know how I'm gonna do yet. Now for supports here, first of all, let me lower this a bit, so it's kind of loud. And second of all, how do I want, like, do I even want to do supports in this segment? I probably do. Because there is no pillar for quite a distance. So doing supports is a bit harder. The support would have to be here, which means... either I have one in the middle. I could do like a middle support, but that would look a bit weird. Because this exit obviously only needs to be one wide, so it is only one wide. You know what, I think I'll just leave the trains alone for now, mostly. Trains are in decent shape. So I'm just gonna leave them alone. I'll just do like this. Just get this all cleaned up here. Why did I make this rail just so unnecessarily long? Like, it sticks out for so long. I guess it's just gonna be like this, 'cause I don't feel like going too crazy with it. I mean, realistically, this should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. I'll just have to remember to do the fencing going that way. Or the railings, I suppose. That's what they're called, yeah, modern railings. Yeah, I'll have to nudge all of those, and that's just going to be a whole process, so it's staying like that for now. Like I said, I want to try and go the other way, so as soon as this is done, I want to go the other way, but I also want to do this foundation down here. That's the bulk of what I wanted to do. I'm just doing the trains because I'm already here. So may as well do this since it's technically going to have to be done too. Something I'm sure I could do is center this rail. Even if it's going to look a little bit goofy, I could center it. Because right now it's kind of at an awkward spot anyway, so... What are these? Big concrete, big metal pillars? Yeah. Like... Could try and have it like here. I'll leave the pillar there for me to remember. And I'll put this here. So I don't want to mess with trade signaling right now, so I'm just gonna leave this here for now. That way I remember to do it. Now, for this area down here, I think it's a lot of just foundation painting because the game was too laggy for me to want to do it originally, so I guess now I just have to do it. Which is fine, that is the consequence of not replacing foundations as the type you already want. The only annoying thing is this cliffside is always loaded with spiders, or stingers technically. So it's basically a full-time job to clear out, which is why it's taken me so long to actually even attempt to do this at all. I was gonna do it like a long time ago, but it was just too much effort, so now I'm doing it finally. It's also just super laggy to paint a bunch of foundations. Not to mention I have to paint these after. I want them all to be black. So not only do I have to convert most of the ones I pre-placed, but I also have to convert all of these, like paint them all after. Which is just great. I do want to try and get these walls put down because we're not actually going to have to go this far in. I just put them there because I did a full zoop, but we can stop here, so not particularly too crazy. I think it should be fairly achievable unless we run out of materials for walls, which then it's just going to be annoying. But outside of the lag, like most of this decoration stuff is not that terrible to do. I guess let's just paint it right away. Let's just get this done with. At least painting does not lag out the game like crazy, so it's a good start. Painting is actually satisfying, unlike changing the material of foundations, which is just painfully laggy for no reason. I don't know what they did to it. Like, the customizer used to be fine, but something about the optimization they did in 1.0 just completely destroyed it, and they haven't fixed it, so I guess it just is what it is. I hate that the land is still kind of here, so it's just in the way. Would have been nice having it end a little bit sooner, but for that, I would have had to make the base bigger, or we'll edit the map, which I mean, I'm not gonna do. Not just gonna delete this whole island. Great, I didn't convert this. Nope, that's not what I want to do. There's so many foundations just like barely clipping out. Something I realize I'm gonna have to do is the restock on nukes. I don't have all that many. Like, surprisingly, I still don't have nukes automated. Mostly because the recipe is kind of just annoying, and I don't feel like spending the time to do it. But I have to manually go craft them and collect them. Which is a bit inconvenient, but it's much easier than automating them, so... Plus, it's not like you go through nukes at like a crazy volume either. You go through like 100, like you go through like one every maybe 30 minutes of gameplay, so it's nothing crazy. Unless you're like bombing an entire biome, then you're obviously going to use up way more. Now I will have to layer this platform, a little bit more so it doesn't look quite as unnatural. Because it being one foundation tall is making, like, it makes it really thin for the size. And obviously this wouldn't support such a big base. So, gonna have to fix that, but for now I'm just leaving it as is. Get the gist of it done. Going to get rid of this because, as I determined, there's a belt in there, but it's actually not all that annoying, so I'm just going to leave it. If you can see it, you can see it. That's just what it is. Alright, these walls... Okay, I'll just do, like, the wall manually, I guess. I mean, like, it's just one wall extra, so... Just do this. Why do I have a highlighted train again? It's so annoying. For some reason, when you customize things like stations, the train freight cars just get all poor. There you go. Unhighlight those. I don't know why that happens. Must just be a consequence of the game just being stupidly overloaded with RAM usage. There, this should do. Oh great, there's another highlighted one. Love that. They're super annoying too. The fact that I somehow managed to get this to be exactly one foundation off is impressive. Well, there you have it. Highlighted train coming this way? Yes, okay, well, I'll try and unhighlight it. But yeah, this doesn't look that bad. Needs to be thicker, obviously, duh, but, like, not a terrible start. Waiting for this poor train to get here. I thought it was a lot closer than it actually was. Same exact station again. Interesting. Or at least similar sets of stations. Well, let's get back to it. We need to add all the walls still, so just a whole lot of the same. But that's just how decorating is, so I'm not gonna complain any more than has to be said. This doesn't need a wall. This is going to have to move slightly. Although it's still surprisingly well aligned. Just gonna move it like here. Just ever so slightly, that way it's not a problem. Of course, the power pole's in the way. I guess I can... I suppose I should have just aligned this to the actual base's grid, but it's not a huge deal. Oh wait, this is not in the... Okay, wait. I did this completely wrong. I left the pillar gap where the pillar isn't, and I filled in where the pillar actually is. I did this backwards. I thought the pillar was gonna go here, so I didn't fill it. But no, it goes the other, like, it goes next to it. There, this should do. I do need to put the wall strip right here. Because, you know, one must do what they must do. There you have it. Alright, I need to do this pillar too. These pillars do tend to be quite a chore to put down because of the nature of what they are, which is just huge columns of normal foundations, but it is what it is. It makes a decent aesthetic. It's a nice, simple aesthetic. Like, it's an easy way to add depth to a big build, is just to add pillars. But also pillars like this are really time-consuming to build. There you go. I think there's one missing somewhere in there. I don't know, it was just unrendered, I think. Thought there was one missing around here, but no. Apparently it just wasn't rendered in. Still, this pillar had a lot of way to go. I must have not brought these ones quite as low down as the other ones. The other ones, I remember, it was just like a slight bit over one stretch of 10, but this one's like basically 2 full stretches. So I must have not brought it quite as far down as the other giant pillars. I do hear the stingers. Oh, well, they're probably in this cave. Okay, well, that's not much of an issue. There's a cave right here, so that checks out. When you have arachnophobia mode on, you can hear them from very far away. So, makes sense. Only issue is trying to get this pillar done with. I think on this side it shouldn't matter, but the parts of the pillar coming down along here are going to be a bit of an issue, I think. Screwed that one up. And it's screwed up again. Okay, these are probably need to stretch all the way down. This should work. Yeah, I think that's the entire pillar done with. I don't know if there's any more. However, this is the entire segment I planned on doing. Yeah, this pillar doesn't go all the way down, although this pillar doesn't really matter because Well, it doesn't really need to be filled in because this is going to close up here and this is just not going to be a problem, so yeah, let's just do that. This will all be filled in, so it's not an issue. Once again, just a bunch of train infrastructure that just needs a bunch of little things. Nothing crazy, but just little details like the fences needing fixing, aka railings. And just some general support, but the thing is you can't do miracles. Like, I mean, that island isn't even supported, so like, I feel like it would almost be cooler to like make a jet model blueprint, like just a jet engine, and just say they're floating by jet power, but like it's a lot of effort to make that kind of a model, so how about no? Okay, now comes the fun part. Okay, the hard part, not actually the fun part. Making a sticker, which I guess my foundation sticker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. This isn't super thick still. Like in the grand scheme of things, but it's a start. I think I might have to do 7. I think 7. Okay, that's annoying. It switches up like that. I think 7 is going to be the actual sweet spot. Like the sweet spot between reasonable and like actually, yeah, that's more what I was expecting. Out of 5, anyway. Yeah, I think 7 is going to be the amount. Also love that it's actually turning black, which is what I wanted. It's pretty hard to get like true black in this game. I mean, as you can see by the foundations, this is still gray, even though it's like straight black. And I think actual black, yeah, actual black isn't even, like, this is what black actually is like. Which is why I use carbon steel, because this is what the game considers black. This is what I mean by, like, it can be actually quite hard to get, like, black in the game. Because most of the blacks are just gray. The gray is nice in like closed areas when you have lumen on, because the gray looks black in the dark anyway. When you're in like big open areas with a bunch of lighting where you can clearly tell that the color is just terribly gray and not black at all, it can be quite annoying. You know, one thing that I do always have in the back of my mind is, will I hit the U object limit before I complete the game to the amount I want? So I'm not freaking far, but also, like, I can't be that far from the U object limit either. I mean, like, unless I unironically just built with very efficient material types, there's zero chance I'm that far from it, like, at all. I have to be pretty close. Like, I just can't see myself being, like, halfway. Like, I feel like I have to be closer than halfway. I feel like I'm closer to the limit than I am to the middle of the limit, is what I'm trying to say. Let's get this done with. I should have started this on the other side because it would have been much easier. You like not? There you go. Can I stand on this? Yes, perfect. I should probably count how many layers this is. Okay, there's 7. Good thing I thought about it. There you go. There's the laggy autosave again. As always, comes in hot. I mean, obviously I could always just reduce the interval of the autosaves, but 5-minute autosaves is about as long of an interval as you can have before you lose like a significant amount of progress every time. Because still, 5-minute autosaves are big. It's kind of reasonable for a game like this where you progress a bit slower, but not many games do I consider a 5-minute autosave reasonable. Most games, it's like 2 minutes max is reasonable. I hate how precise sometimes the hitboxes can be to get a foundation placed where you want it. Tends to just be hit or miss. I guess I can do it this way, which is a little bit easier. I have no idea what the kill zone is. Like, I was a bit afraid of building out too far, but like it would probably have been a good idea to mark the kill zones, because I don't know where they are. I'm just assuming I've got a little bit of distance left to go, but like it could be pretty far still. For all I know, I think they're probably like within 10 foundations, but they're probably not. The thing with the kill zones is you kind of just find them whenever you start dying randomly. You don't really go out looking for them because you don't expect them to be a problem. But they do tend to be there. There you go, a bit of an annoying spot with that support coming in right there, but nothing too crazy. It's still manageable, and plus these aren't paintables, so I can just go all crazy and it won't matter. We'll need to refill on not nitrogen gas. On, what is it, rocket? No, not rocket fuel, ionized fuel. There you go. Thing is, I don't interact with some of these items for... Like, I haven't interacted with any of, like, the starter items in so long, it feels. Like, with the Dimensional Depots, you just don't have to worry about items anymore. And being that I've been decorating and doing just infrastructure the entire, like, last 100 hours of my save, if not 200. Maybe even 300 at this point, I think. Like, I haven't interacted with the actual items in game, like, ever, because everything I have is just depoted. So, like, at most I see the icons. Like, I recognize all the icons still, but, like, most of the items' names I have to just try and remember from the top of my mind from, like, forever ago experience. There you have it. Looks a lot more natural now that it's a bit thicker. Doesn't look quite as unrealistic. Like, it does look like it could be a super strong platform that's actually holding up the pillars. And not just a weird thing that looks goofy. Now comes the question of where do we even continue? On one hand, I'm tempted to go to the Dune Desert to continue the pillars, but on the other hand, they kind of have to be done here too, so... Right, I should have probably checked what point I even started them. I checked how the pillar design was so I could replicate it, but I didn't check at which point on the railway that I connected it to. That's kind of a skill issue on my part, I can't lie. So it is on the inside, okay. And once again, I assume it's just one full stretch down. Yep, 10 down. Okay. That is easy enough by my books. Ironized, great. Iron. I don't need ironized fuel, I need ionized fuel. This goes the wrong way, right? Yep, okay, great. I need to walk. You know what, I'm not gonna jump this time. I'll run normally for once. I know. Unusual. And you know, the crazy thing is I don't even think it's all that big of a speed difference anymore. Like, without Blade Runners, it just doesn't matter anymore. So much so that, like, it's so not noticeable anymore compared to how it was before that, like, a lot of people don't understand why I even, like, do it. Like, I had a couple comments, like, when 1.0 originally released, and I was, like, earlier in the episodes. Of like, why am I jumping around so much like that? And that's because it used to be way faster than just running normally. Like, with the kind of distances you travel in this game, it used to matter, like, a lot. Nowadays, it just doesn't really matter because 1.0 nerfed it a little bit. I think it does still have a slight difference in speed, but, like, not really enough to matter. I just do it out of muscle memory and also out of respect for how I used to play the game and how people had to endure running around for so long. You need to remember to fill this in. You know what, I'll do it later. Right now I want to do transports. How do I want to do this? Let's find a center point, which is probably like here. Thought that was on Zoop mode. Whoopsies. There you go. It is a bit annoying though to do these kinds of supports. Because most of the ones that I have to do are above, like, the void. Obviously you have to fly around and it's really hard to aim when you're flying around like a crazy person. Like that, like you make one mistake and you just go sinking down. That's like supersonic speeds. I mentioned these are hollow, so they're like an absolute pain to put down. They'd never want to cooperate. Well, that's convenient that that just ends up going straight. There you go. I mean, it does support. It looks a bit goofy, but it supports, so it's good enough with me. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's here. I'm just going to count them manually because at this point it's easier. It's not Zoop mode, because why would it be? Very annoying places to work with here. Once we get to the point where we can just use straight beams going up, it'll be easier, but for now I have to do it manually. I swear, the game perfectly lines up every time, so I click off of what I want to do. It's so annoying. We need increased hitboxes, like ASAP. Right, this churns. Trying to do this stuff when this turn is not easy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here. doesn't go on Zoop because I picked something else on accident. Just a lot of irritating, tedious building is what decorating is, in my opinion. And plus, it's not really all that worth it, ever. And that's the worst part, is it's like almost never worth it either. Never line up. There. Right, I'm gonna have to do this for those pillars there too. Unless I just don't do it. I suppose I could do a smaller version. You know what, the supports don't look as bad as I thought they did. And they don't look good, but I guess supports aren't supposed to look all that great anyway, so... it's not the end of the world. Go. Slight smidgen that isn't in there. Because of the churn, we're actually staying like the same distance from the cliff, which is making this harder. It does actually like hug the cliff's angle for a bit, but then once it gets over here, it's just like super far. So... I don't know how far I'll go. I don't really plan on doing all of it. But it's only been an hour and I feel bad doing like an hour-long stream, so I kind of just gonna keep going, I guess. Right, I can just hide down here. Kind of just forgot I can technically just use these as like walkways because they're hollow. I can do it that way. It's just barely possible to place it after. I did not think it was actually possible to do that. It don't occur to me, I suppose. I was not expecting that to be doable. Yeah, this is where they start getting far. Might not be the furthest, but it's gonna be far. This is where it starts getting spicy. Cool effect. This is, the fog is kind of here. There's a bit of out of bounds fog here, which makes the lighting just look all whack. You can see the rays. Actually kind of cool. Not something you really ever notice in this game. But it is there. This game has some pretty insane lighting. Even if you never really notice it much. I'm gonna do it the easy way this time. I'm gonna put the foundation first. Yeah. Messing up at this point. That's how you know I'm just on autopilot now. When I start screwing up. There you go. That's another one done with. I mean, it definitely looks a bit goofy, and it probably wouldn't be structurally sound in the slightest in real life, because obviously that geometry does not make much sense, but for a game, it looks fine, honestly. I mean, it would be extremely straining, and it would probably wobble up and down quite a bit, because obviously it's a single point support. You need like a double point support where it would also like realistically go out like this in real life. And obviously you'd have some like cross supports or whatever, but this is the game and it actually looks like a lot more aesthetically pleasing to have the supports only down there. I'm just gonna have them only down there because why not? Not like this. Having them like this looks better than not having them, so it's better than nothing. Still though, made some decent progress. Do I put one here? I don't think this thing needs it. What it does need, though, is the proper fencing. Because this is not... hasn't been done yet, so... it needs to be railed up. This is the area we did in the video that's gonna come out Saturday here, the upcoming Saturday, so I'm not gonna show too much of this, but just know that you're gonna see why this room exists sooner than later, so you know, it is here, so I'm not gonna hide the fact that it exists. I mean, it gives you a good idea of what it is. It's a more train infrastructure. More train infrastructure to carry even more SAM ore. So, it's fairly simple stuff. Of course, it's just everything sticks out just slightly at awkward angles. There we go. I mean, I do kind of wish there was an easier way to have railings, but you can't really have angled railings, I don't think. Yeah, no. I guess let's return to the ramp over here. Because I forgot to do it. Well, not that I forgot to do it, I just pushed it back a bit. But I should probably do it now. It is hard to remember which alternations you have to do on foundations like this. I believe it is this. Let's see. Once again, here are the spiders. Nothing new. I mean, you're really playing Satisfactory if you don't hear the stingers going meow. The stingers go meow meow meow. Oh, I should make a song about stingers going meow. Probably be an absolute hit. The lag is annoying for something like this, though, because I keep painting the asphalt foundations on accident. Let's fix that. Always the little slivers of just foundations hiding from you. There's not many, but they're always there, and you always miss some of them. Which is always annoying, because then you always catch them later, and then you're like, oh dang it, now I have to fix it. But I think that's that. Much better already. Did them already on the side? Yep, okay, cool. That is mostly done. Do I want to do it on this side? Let's see, no. I think I'm just going to foundation up this side and then just leave it as is. I close that back up. It's not a problem. And I'm going to do it this way, which is that I am going to use concrete walls because it's probably easier. Hopefully it's the same color. Not bad. I want concrete walls. I don't know if those are the same shade, so hopefully they are. I know they stick out more than just concrete foundations, but can't do much about that. Nope, they're not the same shade. But they're close enough, honestly. This is what I mean by the colors in the game are very inconsistent. Like, why is this concrete Like, why are concrete foundations not the same black as concrete walls? Like, they're not the same color. Why? There's no reason. Just why is it not the same color? It's like a bunch of little things that the colors in the game make no sense for. Alright, part of this blueprint is still here. Can't just remove it altogether. The thing is, I was gonna have a train go through this, which is why it's here. But now that's not the case, so it doesn't need to be here. There you go. I just can look down now. I need to fill this in too, I suppose. I'm just gonna do it the lazy way. Just ignore that it's clipping on the other side. And just leave it. It's not like it's gonna be that noticeable. Like, you're gonna be able to notice it, but it shouldn't be that bad, I don't think. Well, I think I'm gonna call it here then. I mean, short stream as usual. I could keep going with the supports, but it's a lot of repetitiveness, the supports, and well, I'm not gonna bore you with it, to be honest. But we made a decent amount of changes, did a lot of tedious stuff, and by a lot, I mean we didn't do that much. We did a lot, but like there's so much to do that like it's not actually a lot in the grand scheme of things, you know? Like that's the issue, is it's not actually a lot. There you go. That's how you get a thumbnail the sketchy way. Or my way, I guess, technically. Didn't even hit the kill barrier. I don't know where it is, so I'm not gonna go looking for it because I don't need to know where it is. I don't care that much. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. That's gonna be it from me. I need to go edit a video, so I need to go edit the last Satisfactory video, or technically the next one. That's gonna go up this Saturday, so you know. That is that. I do have a Water Park World episode, or Water Park Simulator episode, sorry, ready to go, but I'm gonna delay it because you guys haven't had a Satisfactory episode in a long time, so may as well treat you guys right. But yeah, that's it for this stream. Short as usual, but that's how I like them.